here at the Harley-Davidson Museum. See 100 plus years, actually about 120 years of motorcycle history. So I've always wanted to try this and see what it was like. So let's see what's on this adventure. Harley-Davidson Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 1903. This is just on the outskirts of downtown Milwaukee. Davidson sign here, made out of the brick. So here's a replica of the Harley-Davidson initial shed. Back up here. This was 10 feet by 15 feet was the size of the shed. Here's the sign for it. The first home of the Harley-Davidson was a 10 by 15 foot shed located behind the Davidson family home at 38th Street and what is now Highland Boulevard in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was built in 1903 with the help of the Davidson brothers' father, who was a cabinet maker. In 1906, the company moved to a larger wooden building across the street, which is the site of the present-day company headquarters. This replica is based on historical photographs held in the Harley-Davidson archive. And then here's the whole campus. They do have the Harley-Davidson homecoming. Actually, they got Chris Stapleton, Hank Williams Jr., a couple other people can actually buy tickets down there. Right here is actually the shop. The museum's down over here. And then there's factory outlet, a restaurant, and a bar. So it's almost like a whole campus here. So here's going in the store. They have all kind of shirts and hats, different merchandise. I just figured I'd hit the gift shop first. Actually, it's a really big gift shop, actually. Here's the front side of it. Got really cool rims. So continuing on, there's a lot of shirt, hat options. Got the old time hats there. Probably talk over this with the music in the background. Different keychains, playing cards, a pen, poker chips. They have tons of different hats and shirts. So this concludes the gift shop, which is the first thing that we saw. So I figured I'd knock that out before I hit the museum, which is next to us. Here's a sculpture of the dynamic hill climber. And the museum is actually right there, which we're gonna go to next. So this is just before going into the actual museum right there. It's giving you an overview of what it looks like here. So this is just right outside of it. This has some bikes set up here. I don't know if you can actually sit on them or not. All nice and polished. Oh, the Twisted Tea with the sidecar. Twisted Tea gas pump. Old time gas pump. The last one that they had outside, at least at the front by the museum entrance. Here's entering the museum. Oh. This is a history of the Fat Boys, starting in 1990. All this time I waited for a season where everything felt right. Here's all the different chapters for the Harley Owners Group. So here's where you first scan your ticket. And this he said the wood floors are the actual history. So you can kind of understand it all or follow it, where the concrete is more the new stuff. This is a 1903 bike. So let's get a close-up of this here. Kind of reminiscent of the electric bicycles now. Except obviously this was gasoline, but still. The actual frame was pretty much a standard bike. There's a chain there, but there's also, get it so you could pedal if you wanted with the chain, and if you wanted to engage the motor. So it is a lot like a e-bike. Do either or. This right here is the engineering drawing for the bicycle motor by William Harley in 1901. Here's Arthur Davidson, General Sales Manager. Info about him. This is William Harley, Chief Engineer and Treasurer. This is Walter Davidson, President. And he lived the longest, 1942. This is the first home of the company, which was a shed that was 10 by 15 feet and a story high in the back of the Davidson's house. At 38th Street and what is now Highland Boulevard, it was built in 1903. During the preceding 2 years, a machine shop on the north side was used by the boys who were barely 22 for their work. So what you can see here is you can see the 10 feet here and the 15 feet here, which is basically the size of what they worked in the shed. So there's the box. I'm trying to get the whole thing in. You can see in proportion to the bike how, I mean, there was probably little to no extra room in this. Here's the 4 founders in 1912. Here's a picture of their house with the shed behind it, which I just showed the 10 by 15 feet. And there's their house in the background. So their house is there and their shed is right there. So this is a promissory note from their Uncle James from 1904. So this is a reprint of the 1903 advertisement for the Orient buckboard. So this is the 1905 buckboard motor, one of the earliest surviving Harley-Davidson engines, and illustrated in the 1907 catalog. There's the illustration of it, the buckboard motor. Here's a 1905 letter to the prospective dealers on early company letterhead. The same year, this is the first Harley-Davidson catalog printed in 1905. A 15-page catalog from 1907 with a simple title and engraving of the $210 Model 3. Here's the 1908 part list for the different parts and accessories that were offered back then. This is Walter Davidson on a 1907 single. Here's the book from 1907 of the first minutes for the Harley-Davidson Motor Company. 3 of the 4 founders and their employees posed for a celebratory photo following the incorporation of the company in 1907. So it didn't take that long for them to become incorporated. In 1907, the company workforce more than doubled, helping to fill a steady stream of orders. Here's a book containing the first shares of Harley-Davidson Motor Company. This is a 1907 advertising flyer issued by the dealer C.H. Lane. Up on the wall they have a 1917 and a 1918 youth bicycle. So this is a model 5-17 Boy Scout youth bicycle from 1917 and a model 3-18 ladies standard bicycle. Here's a 1907 Model 3. It's funny how the handlebars went so far back. Our gas tank, gas engine. Here's some of the different catalogs. This is a 1936 EL. This is a 1925 JDCB. It's actually almost like a army green. This is a 1933 VLD side valve V-twin. This one they started doing more with colors and color schemes, like on this gas tank. 1932 Model G Servicar side valve V-twin. Here's a 1939 Model G Servicar, again 3-wheel. It is 1916, which is when this bike was from. The U.S. Mail was already using these as ways to get around. Instead of the sidecar, it obviously had the storage for all the mail. And that was the Harley-Davidson motorcycle truck. So this is a 1932 police motorcycle. Again with the shield, so you can use them most of the time. So here's a World War II Harley. See, they actually have, like, for the shins, an actual shield. Carry stuff on the back there. This close up of the U.S. Army 45. Oh wow, look at the gun there. So this area is the evolution of the bikes. 1906, 1909, 1912, the design didn't change too much. Behind that's 1913. 1919, it got obviously a lot bigger. This is a Fuss Army. 1920. 1926 back there. 1923. 1928, JH. There's a 1929. 1932 right here, which is a VL, side valve V-twin. Now they're looking more like the Harley bikes. It's a 1934 Model C. 1933 VLD with sidecar. Almost looks like a boat. The sidecar, I mean. 1935 Model R. All those historic bikes. 1936 VLH. 1937 UH. 1934 VLD. 1938 WLD. L instrument panel. Or speedometer, really, it's not even an instrument panel. So the 1940 EL. 1941 FL. Here's the speedy delivery from the other side. It's actually a really nice bike attached to it. 1942 XA. Here's a 1946 WR Racer. And a 1946 FL, which is a blue one there. A 1947 EL V-twin. And then a 1947 Model G Suricar Police. So here's all the historical bikes. So here's a map of the area. The first floor is the lobby, restrooms, lower level galleries, which we'll see at the end because we'll go down there again. When we first came in, we went up. Now we're on the second floor here, which had the all the archives, all the old bikes, all the history of Harley-Davidson. And then the motorcycle vault is number 3, which is up. I think you take this elevator up here to get to it. It's all the tank graphics. I'm just gonna walk alongside of all these. It's a really cool display of them all. On floor 3 now. Welcome to the Harley-Davidson archives. This is when they get stuff. They catalog it, put some of it out on display. So the motorcycle vault wanted one each 1905, 06, 07, and 08 Harley-Davidsons. 2024 Pan American, or modified Pan American 1250. Here's where all the archive bikes are. It's like multiple shelves tall. Boy, look at all the bikes in there. Trying to get through the fence there. Then there's a whole bunch over here. A cool view from the second floor down to the first floor. Clubs and competition area. That's kind of neat. It's almost like a velodrome. That's a 1920 two-cam racer, 1916 Model T factory racer, 2027 Model S pea shooter, 1926 FHAC two-cam racer, 2024 FH two-cam racer. So this is a 1923 8-valve racer. Historic photo there. Drop handlebars, be more aerodynamic. Oh, and I guess you can adjust the fork height. So this is the 1936 EL Factory Streamliner. Look at how the back wheel's actually covered. To give you an idea of the angle of the race bank there. There's some historic photos. And again, I'm not covering everything. I'm just grabbing bits and pieces. LaPorte Ramblers, Wabash Valley Motorcycle Club, Gopher State Motorcycle Club. Oh, look at these old hats. So here's posters for the different races. 76 and 3/10 of a mile an hour for 300 miles. So if it was 75, that would be 4 hours. If it was 75 miles per hour, so it's just under 4 hours. Wow, they're zipping along there. So Milwaukee had a motor dome. That's what it was called. Instead of a velodrome, it was a motor drone. Here's the engine room. Here's the bike, dissecting it. I love when they do this. So this is the engine wall. All the different engines, or some of the engines that they made over all the years. So you can actually go down here and you can pick an engine. Here's how 1 versus 2 cylinders work. So 1 just pumping away there. Here's a 2. Here's a 2 switching the load, or balancing the load. And here's the opposed pistons. Here's the inner workings of a motorcycle engine. I have 2 different ones here. And then you can actually pick what you want to see in action and it'll highlight it. So this is the transmission gears and the clutch assembly. So this is the piston walls. Here's a zoom in of the piston walls. Combustion chamber is the one over here. Or down here is the camshafts and lifters. So it's kind of cool because as you turn this wheel here, it shows you what the engine's actually doing. Get a better view there. It shows it up here. So this concludes the second floor. The history, the archives, the racing, the engines, and all the old bikes here, which are behind me right here, which we did all that. So now we're going to head to the first floor, which is down here. So this is where we'll be heading next. So we're back to a wood floor here. So this is more history. I like that they do that, so you kind of have an idea. More signs. Here's some more motorcycles. 1948 Model S. Oh, so these are probably like the more recent bikes. 1955 Model B Hummer. 1954 KH. 1957 Sportster. This is a 1981 Nova Touring. Here's some other stuff that they've made. 1974 Snowmobile. I never knew they made snowmobiles. 1972 MC65. I'd call it a mini bike. 1964 Tomahawk Aero. Here's a Tomahawk Aero. A lot more varied stuff than I thought. Here's a 1962 D3 golf cart. Look at the steering on it. It's like a big lever left and right. 1961 Sprint C. And a 1960 Model A Topper scooter. 1981 FLH 80. I like the way it's lit with the background there. So metals like steel and aluminum along with rubber, plastic, and leather all deteriorate. Add in moisture, oxygen, and salt, and it intensifies. Hyposonic, meaning it attracts moisture. As long as you stay, accelerated corrosion will continue. Despite it looking like this, they decided to leave it as is. So this is a 2300 anniversary Harley-Davidson, and this is all the employees signing it. Down to the seats. Get over here. Even the seats, the interior, fenders. They have a Build-A-Bike section where you can design your own bike. Walter Van Stant's 1941 VLD. This is Elvis Presley's 1956 KH. A.L. Goodwin, first female Secret Service on motorcade support. This is 1929 Randy Detroit Hayward's bike. Mentor and educator, inspiring black motorcycle racers. 1988 double engine dragster. Pretty amazing. 1952 Hill Climber, 1971 Super Glide, 1949 FL Hydroglide. So now on the first floor are the newer bikes, and they have them all lined up here so you can see them all here. So we'll do a quick walkthrough of those next. These start about 1948, 1948 FL, 1953 KRTT Road Racer. The other side has the middle ones as well. 1956 Dirt Tracker, 1971 M65 Sport, 1974 RR250 Road Racer, 1975 XR750 Track Racer, 1977 XLCR 1000 Cafe Racer, 1984 FXRR Police, radio back there, 1986 FLST Heritage Softail, 1991 FLDB Dino Glide Sturgis, 2002 VRSCA E-Rod, 2002 BUELL FXE9R, and 2008 FXC WC Rocker C. So starting back in the front again. On the other side is a 1954 FLF Sport Solo. And in the middle is a 1952 Model K, which is the brown one. 1954 FLE Police Solo. Oh, there's a siren down there. 1958 FL Duo Glide, green and white paint job. 1960 XLCH Sportster. 1965 CRTT Road Racer. And I just realized that the signs that I'm reading off of, like red means it's a red bike. This next one's orange here, so I have an orange tag. 1968 FLHFB Electra Glide. Remember these in the days of City of Chicago, seeing these. 1971 GE Cervicar Police Side Valve V-Twin. Had this big back storage area in the back. 1975 SS 250 2-cycle single. The blue one is a 1973 XL 1000 Sportster. This black one is a 1976 FLH 1200 Liberty Edition. Look, it's red, white, and blue. This one's a 1977 XLS Lowrider. The orange one is a 1980 FX WG Wide Glide. And the grayish black one here is a 1983 XR 1000. You see all the bikes there. So I have one more section to go over here. The orange one is a 1987 Buell BR 1000. And the gray one is a 1980 FLSTF Fat Boy. This white one's a 1993 FLSTN Heritage Softail. Even got a animal print there. This military green one is a 1995 MT500. This maroon bike is a 1998 FLTRI Road Glide. 1997 FLSTS Heritage Springer. 2014 FLHXS Street Glide. Red one in the center is a 2001 FXDWG2 Wide Glide. The last two bikes is a 2006 FXDI35 Super Glide. And the orange one here is a 2007 XL 1200N Nightster. The last exhibit we can do is the Experience Gallery, where you can actually sit on bikes. This is the only place that you're allowed to sit on them. Get up on this one here. It's actually pretty cool. There's another one we'll try to sit on. Here's a control, speedometer, gas tank. So let's sit on this one now. So this is a 35th anniversary Fat Boy. So this will conclude the video of the Harley-Davidson Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hopefully this video gave you a good idea of everything there is to see here. You kind of go in and then you go to the second floor and you'll see all the history, the archives, bikes from the first 50 years, as well as some of the racing memorabilia and some other things. And then the first floor is the last 50 years or so. And they show the different bikes. You can kind of look at the different things that they had through history with the bikes recently. And they have the actual Experience Gallery where you can actually sit on the bikes as well. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more content like this. And thanks for watching. Till the next video.